Hey everyone, today we are going to be making our hemp and oat milk hot process soap bars. We're going to include this recipe in our ultimate guide to hot process soap student resources, so if you want to make that recipe, go ahead and head over there now. So let's go ahead and go over our ingredients. We have our sodium hydroxide, our distilled water, our oat milk, we're going to use olive oil as our post-cook super fat, and then we've got a fragrance. So the fragrance is juniper breeze, but the fragrance is completely optional. We have our oils, and in our oils we always include 4 optional additives, which include sodium lactate, sorbitol, cetyl alcohol, and a chelator. So let's go ahead and get started. Make sure you have on your PPE or your personal protection equipment, which include closed-toed shoes, pants, long sleeves, gloves, eyewear, and preferably a respirator. Mix our lye solution. And then we can begin the continuous mixing process. We're going to add our oat milk right after we get a trace. And where I'm located at right now, we've got about a foot of snow on the ground and everything's a little bit colder here. So our process is going to take a little bit longer than normal. So just keep that in mind. Also want to have our whisk ready to go. Once it gets thick like this, you can go ahead and add in your oat milk. mix it just a little bit more. And it is that quick. Go ahead and cover this and let it sit for 1 to 2 minutes. After your soap has sat for a couple minutes, we can add our post-cook super fat, and we're going to use olive oil and our fragrance. My Juniper Breeze fragrance always seems to make my batter a little bit thicker, but that's okay because we're using a single colorant. But if you wanted to, you could use, if you want to keep the vegan part of your recipe, you can use a little bit of coconut milk, you can use some more oat milk, you can even use oat milk yogurt. I know people are really fond of that, and it tastes good too, so. But that is it, and that is how simple it is. This recipe is absolutely amazing. It creates a very, very, very softening and mild bar with a beautiful bubbly cleanse, or with a beautiful bubbly lather. Let's go ahead and mold our soap. And with these smaller molds, because they tend to bow on the sides, you can kind of see that. I always like to put them inside of a bigger mold, or you can take wire and wrap it around the edges. That will help prevent that as well. Let's go ahead and put it inside one of the bigger molds. And that will prevent any bowing on the side. And for the top, I just like to kind of texturize it a little bit. It creates a really fun, pretty look. And then give it a couple firm taps and you are all done. That's it. That is our ultimate guide to hot process soap, 10-minute hemp and oat milk recipe. To top these bars off, add a little bit more decoration, we are going to paint the tops with this beautiful copper colored mica. So here we have our 10-minute honey melt and pour base, which is a new recipe we'll be sharing shortly. All we're going to do is add a little bit of our mica colorant. And then I'll be right back after we melt the base. We mix it up. And the reason why I didn't do this before I cut it is because I didn't want the color to migrate onto the soap while I cut it. Oops. We're going to add 2 layers. Gorgeous. And there we go. We can add another layer to that if we want to produce a bolder color. But if not, add a little bit of sparkle, a little bit of shine, and then we'll plane these edges later. So there you go. We have our hemp and oat milk vegan 10-minute hot press soap recipe. Enjoy!